Well, hey YouTube, so today guys, we are back here with another review, and today we are talking about Beyond Meat stock, guys. A lot of things have happened recently to this company, and it's time that we talk about what's going on, what do I think of it, and what's the future for this company. So guys, 97% of bondholders have agreed to swap old debt for new 7% convertible notes due in 2030. And as a result, 316 million shares are being printed, guys. That's very bad news. That's going to dilute the float significantly. You know, at this time, the company claims they're not going bankrupt, and yeah, they could say they're not going bankrupt because this has shored up a lot of the funding issues they were having. They had probably between $800 million to $1 billion in debt. I had the exact numbers. It says $1.2 billion in debt. So this will offshore about $800 million of it, with 326 million new shares coming out, guys, by 2030. So that's pretty crazy, guys. So this shores up most of the debt and prevents the company from going bankruptcy or having to worry about how to fund, ongoing business operations. But really, you're just kicking the can down the street, right? That's what it seems like to me. I mean, revenue has been a 19.6% decrease year over year. It's about $75 million in the past year. Net losses are about negative $29.2 million. That is better than $34.5 million negative in Q2 2024, but still, we're losing money here, guys. EPS is negative 0.38. This is on a diluted earnings per share. Yes, it's better. It used to be negative 0.53, but you're looking at that 19.6 decrease in revenue year over year, so you see where it's coming from. It's not like they're actually doing something amazing and maintaining revenue. I do think the founder and CEO, forgot that guy's name, he just doesn't strike me as somebody who has good business sense, right? He's a founder, but it seems like he's kind of lazy at this point, kind of more of a product guy, more of an innovation guy. They're up to like the 5th or 6th generation, which good for you, but you need a businessman to run the company, right? So I think seeing him become more of a CVO, maybe that's the future for him. I don't know. I have no idea what they want to do. But nevertheless, guys, this morning, at one point, the stock price was like under $1. It was like, I think it was like 60 cents for a few minutes. Now it's over $1. It's about $1.04. So it's still pretty cheap, but for good reason. You know what I'm saying, guys? So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at this company. I have to say, demand apparently for the other types of meat is not necessarily going down. I think it's still going up, but you're seeing a lot more competition, right? It used to just be Impossible Meat, but now you have a lot of major companies that are providing options for consumers that happen to be the vegan and gluten-free options, guys. So it's not just Impossible, and I'm sure that's part of the reason why Impossible decided to never go public. I'm sure there were some things they were seeing that were essentially maybe not lending themselves great to be a public company yet. I do think eventually Impossible will be a public company, but for now, I don't. That's probably why they never did it, and I think Beyond is seeing some of those things that maybe Impossible saw. This is just me guessing, right? I mean, obviously, the economic times are tough, so typically when you see stuff like that, I'm sure the vegan meat market is going to go down. Let me get you guys the actual metrics. There is growth, which is good, so it's good to see some growth. I think it's safe to say that while veganism is going up and vegan meat is going up, I don't think it's going up at an explosive pace because, like I said before, the economy is getting kind of tough. I don't think you're going to get a lot of people moving over from real meat because real meat's always going to have the price advantage, right? The price is the most important thing. So even if people want to do good, there's a limit of how much more they're going to pay to do good, right? And yes, there's some health benefits, but there's plenty of additives, plenty of chemicals, and plenty of bad stuff in fake meat. Maybe you don't have antibiotics, right? You don't have any of that. But you still got preservatives. You still got all these weird protein and lab-made chemicals. And I don't think the long-term effects of some of these chemicals are well known. And I do wonder how that's going to affect the market long-term. And maybe they won't find anything, right? But you never know. You never know. So, I'm looking at another article here. It's saying $27.71 billion for 2024, then $31.09 billion for 2025. So yeah, there's a CAGR of about 12.2%, which is good, but people are saying that maybe this CAGR is not speeding up anymore. It's kind of either staying consistent or slowing down. The CAGR is projected to be 11.1% in 2029. So still a good CAGR, but the CAGR itself is going down over time. So it's just something to keep in mind, guys. And I do think competition is going to make this really tough for BYND and impossible. I just do. That's just my opinion, guys. I don't recommend it. I know how cheap it is. If you want like a short-term trade, be my guest. Do what makes you feel good about yourself. But I don't see a future with this company, guys. The founder has always struck me as somebody who never really kind of moved over from being a founder to an actual businessman. That's something I've always noticed about the guy. Ethan Brown is the name. He strikes me as somebody who's a little bit of an airhead, a little bit of just a vision guy. There's nothing wrong with that, but you really need a business guy somewhere in that meeting to kind of balance out Ethan Brown and his visions he likes to see for the future. And, you know, they make a lot of good products, though. The Beyond Beef Burger, you know, I think it came out before Impossible did, but then Impossible came out, and it was definitely a better product. But over time, I will say Beyond's gotten a lot better in their product. And that's a testament to him. He likes the products, man. You know, they make the Beyond Steaks, which is great. There's nothing like it. They have the Beyond the meatballs and stuff like that. And, you know, it's like, I do think there's maybe a future for this company, but an acquisition would need to be the only way. Somebody would need to buy them, or otherwise, maybe Impossible will just throw them a bone. I don't know. But yeah, it's not a stock I'll get into. There's not enough meat on the bone. You know what I'm saying? Like that pun? Not enough meat on the bone for me. So that's just my opinion, guys. And let me know down below what you think, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, favorite, put on the notification bell. Please turn off the Adblocker. I would appreciate that. If you want to leave a super thanks in the comment, you know, it's a little donation you can make to me right on YouTube. I'm not going to say no. You know, I would appreciate it if some of this advice maybe helps you in your life and your investing goals. You know, maybe you can do that if you want. Otherwise, guys, check out my website, pbosonline.com. I got all my videos on there without any ads. I got some other great stuff in there. I also have some affiliate links down below for Amazon and stuff like that. So if you have any purchases coming up on Amazon, use my link. It does support me. And yeah, that's all I have to say. But no, I wouldn't touch it, man. Other than a day trade, that's the only thing I would consider. Thank you and bye.